Even though her Twitch journey is still in its beginnings, she has been hard at work keeping her viewers entertained. My guest tonight on the show is one of my closest friends, and she's wonderful in all ways. One of the nicest, funnest, most adorable and lovely people I've come across on the platform. All the way from Finland, I'm happy to welcome Northroom to tonight's episode of Twitch Tea Time.
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
Pleasure is mine. So in this space, we will be talking about everything from gaming to Twitch, social media life, 2023, plans for 2024, as well as some mental health topics and more. So just grab a drink, sit back, relax, and enjoy. So the first segment is the road to Twitch and gaming. But first things first, before I start, tell me, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I actually had a rather busy day at work, so I hope my brain can function during the interview. But I'm doing great. Good day today.
Well, as my guests always tell me, like, we're stressed, kind of like I tell them, like, don't stress about it. It's not gonna be like something to worry about. Then in the end they tell me, like, oh yeah, we didn't think it was gonna be like this much fun or like this chill, but yeah. So I have a question. Where did the name Northroom initially come from?
Oh yeah, so when I first started content creation, I had a YouTube channel about Sims 4 speed builds. So I wanted something to do with Finland, so obviously that's where the Nord comes from. And then I had something to do with the buildings or architecture or something like that, so then I just chose Room.
And it stuck around, I guess.
It stuck around, yeah. I was thinking, when I started doing more content where actually I was in it, if I should change the name, but then I was like, Nord is fine, I like Nord and it's cute, so let's keep it.
Yeah. So can you tell us about how you discovered Twitch and how you decided to become a streamer, and like a bit about your channel?
Yeah, for sure. Someone's gonna cancel me, but I didn't know about Twitch until like 2 years ago. So I was following a bunch of like Sims YouTubers, and they were in their videos always telling like, oh, by the way, follow me on Twitch, or do this or do that. I was like, what is Twitch? So that's how I discovered it.
Yeah.
And then when you go to Twitch as a platform, the first thing it's gonna offer you is hot tub streamers.
Oh my god.
So I was like, I'm not really sure about this. But then I discovered that you don't have to be a hot tub streamer. You can just play games, and I was like, okay, maybe that's something I could actually do.
Yeah, I mean, you could play games with hot tubs in them.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
Like The Sims, for example.
Yeah. So when I first discovered the platform, I really didn't know the potential it had. So, yeah, I'm very glad I decided to start streaming in the first place.
Yeah. And so, funny story, guys. How I came across Northroom is from a friend. She was streaming The Sims at the time, and she wanted like someone with like little to like or with little interaction, let's say, or with little viewers, or like someone who's like a small community or a small streamer or just like starting new. So I was like, Northroom. So I clicked on like the channel, and there she was, not affiliated yet, still starting, and she also told me that she went back, like watching her old VODs, and she was like, how did you stuck around? Like, I was all snotty and like sick and like blowing my nose every 5 minutes. I mean, don't we all blow our noses?
Yeah, but the thing is, you found me, I think it was my second or third stream, very early on. So I didn't expect to have anyone there.
Yeah.
And then it was the LHC season as well. So I was very, very allergic. So my eyes looked like I've been crying for days, and then it blow my nose and sneeze every
Yeah.
like couple of minutes. So basically the whole stream is just me there with my stuffy eyes, and then
Yeah.
Be Right Back streams every now and then.
Yeah. And I also think it's gonna be a year now that I've discovered you or that I found you.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a year in May.
Oh wow. Yeah. So you also recently started streaming on YouTube. What's different between platforms?
Oh my god. Okay, so I did one stream on YouTube, and I don't think I will do much more in there. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
But it's so different. It's so
Yeah.
different. I don't think because YouTube as a platform is so old, so I thought they had their shit together. But the streaming part of it, it feels so wonky, like in a way.
Yeah.
Like for example, when you connect your OBS to YouTube, it opens two windows, one for your chat and then one for like control panel. I could log into the chat without any issues. When I tried to log into the control panel, it claimed that my account doesn't exist.
Oh wow.
So then during the stream, I had no control panel at all.
Well, you could always try and open it in the browser.
I did, but the browser told me that I wasn't live.
Oh.
So for that reason, I don't know if I'm gonna go back, but I don't know if it would work for like if I did it again. But the sort of the first experience I had, it wasn't great compared to Twitch.
Yeah, some people also like try TikTok streams. Are you gonna try that at some point as well?
I think yeah, I'm a person. I try everything. Like I don't want to judge before trying something myself.
Yeah.
So probably yeah.
Yeah. So your streams tend to be wild sometimes too. Whether it's you just causing funny chaos and the games you play, calling chat out for shenanigans they say, or just them calling you a femboy. But why and how the hell did this become a thing?
The femboy thing? Mm-hmm. All right. So, sort of background of myself is that I used to do
Yeah.
a lot of theater when I was like a teenager. So I'm very used to like improv. And in improv, it's very, very important that you always say yes.
Yeah.
So the femboy thing, I had a collab stream with a friend. And in his title, he was saying that something like femboy gaming. And then his chat was like, who's the femboy? And he was like, obviously Nord. But I had no idea about this title. But I just started hearing all these femboy things middle of the stream. And because in improv you're supposed to say yes, I was like, I just went along with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it stuck.
Yeah, I understand that, given that I'm an audiovisual student as well, or like graduate as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you were not expecting that. But
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And I didn't look his stream during the stream until like halfway of the stream. So I had no idea where it came from before I opened his stream.
Yeah.
I saw the title. I was like, it all makes sense now.
Yeah. So obviously, I was gonna ask you, like, do you remember what the first game you ever streamed was? But of course, it was the Sims 4. I know.
You would think that, would you? It wasn't actually.
Oh my God, what was it then?
Because yeah, so of course if you go from a Sims 4 YouTuber, you want to stream Sims on Twitch as well.
Yeah.
So I was getting ready for my new first stream ever. 15 minutes before I went live, the EA app is down. You can't log in, you can't
Of
over the
course.
game, you can't do anything. So I was like, oh shit. So I started streaming without EA app working, and I was like, okay, I don't know what to do. So then I think we ended up playing House Flipper
Oh.
and also Fortnite.
Oh wow, yeah. So as you said, like, you didn't actually start with The Sims 4, but like you mostly do My Summer Car recently, as well as like
Yes.
Valorant and other games, and you play with others other streamers often as well.
Yeah.
What other games are you willing to play on stream in the future, and why are you focusing mostly on My Summer Car that much?
Well, we are now moving on from My Summer Car because I really like the game, but I have become too comfortable playing that game.
Yeah.
And I like to be a little uncomfortable when I stream because I feel when I'm a little uncomfortable, I actually make better content.
You need challenges.
I need challenges, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think we're moving on from that. And I don't think there's any games I wouldn't be willing to try on stream. But I think if I have a game I really, really like, and I don't want someone to ruin that experience for me,
Yeah.
then I wouldn't choose that game. So I think maybe some story games, if I really want to try that, and I don't want any chance of someone spoiling it for me,
Yeah.
that's a game I wouldn't stream because there's
Yeah.
always chance someone's gonna tell you the end of the story.
You can always, like, as everybody else does, as a lot of other people do, you can always like say, please, no spoilers. You can backseat
Yeah.
me, but like no spoilers, or at least no boss spoilers if there are any like big bosses in the game or something.
That
Yeah.
is true. But you can never trust Twitch chat.
Yeah, I mean, with mods or with moderators around, they can always
That
like
is
delete
true.
the messages and stuff.
That is true.
Yeah. So how did you decide on what content you're going to be streaming when you like, oh yeah, I'm going to give Twitch a try? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So obviously I started with The Sims 4, or tried. After the whole fiasco of the first stream, ended up doing Sims 4 after that. And I think I did one series of that, and then I just started thinking I should try other games. So then I started playing My Summer Car because I had heard that it was a Finnish game where you can die in very random ways, and also you drink beer, and I was like, okay, sold.
And you
So-
pee everywhere as well.
Oh yes, you also pee everywhere. That is
Yeah.
very true.
This also, like My Summer Car, I've seen a lot of other people playing it or streaming it lately. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that it was like becoming this popular.
Yeah, I think the community of My Summer Car is great. Like, people who really like it are obsessed with it. So it's sort of like if you're starting out on Twitch, I would recommend My Summer Car because there are gonna be viewers to watch you because it's a smaller category.
Yeah. So speaking of like starting off on Twitch, to the new people out there who are just like thinking of starting to stream, what's one advice you want to give them?
Well, I like the way I started. So if I was gonna start streaming, I would start by filming YouTube videos. Just film them, edit them yourself. You don't have to upload them anywhere, but just with that, you can see while you're editing it where you could improve, and also you can practice being on camera and talking all the time without having any pressure to do that. So then when you eventually go live, you are way more comfortable on camera than if you just go live without any practice.
Yeah. How many hours a day or a week do you spend on Twitch in general?
Not much.
Yeah.
I would say if I compare me watching and then streaming, probably like 6.
That's
Because
fair.
I'm very busy. I'm not home that much.
Yeah.
And of that 6, 3 hours is me streaming myself.
Yeah, yeah. So you also have 2 cute doggos. They
Yes.
always, like, we always see them on stream, or sometimes, like most of the time. So can you tell us a little bit about like their story, their backstory?
Yeah, sure. Well, yeah, as most of my viewers know, I have 2 dogs. You don't usually see them that much, but you definitely hear them.
Yeah.
They're Shih, which is a working breed. So I have to take care of them a lot, and they also need a lot of attention. Which is like before I stream, I usually take them for like an hour walk. So in hopes they would maybe sleep for a couple hours. But yeah, Victor is the oldest one. He's gonna turn 3 this summer. And there's not really backstory of him. We wanted a dog, we found a breeder, and then we got Victor. But then with the Hector, I wanted really like the sable coloring dog, which Hector is. But Victor's breeder didn't have that color like in plans at any moment. So then we actually found Hector on Facebook. And actually Victor's breeder found Hector for us. And Hector was already sold to another family. But an hour before they were coming to pick Hector up, they said we don't want him anymore. So then the breeder was like, okay, so I have a ready to go home dog with no home. So within an hour of the ad being up, I applied for Hector. And I, of course, I did it in the correct way, which is first talk to my boyfriend and then apply for the dog. And not the other way around. Like that's crazy talk. So what I did, I wrote email to the breeder, sent it out, and then I went to my boyfriend. I was like, there is a puppy that needs a home that's like the good color, good parents, good everything. And also Victor's breeder has checked that it's a like good breeder as well. And he was like, fine, you can apply for the dog. And I was like, I'm really glad you said that because I actually already did.
Yeah.
So then we got Hector and we had to drive, I think, 10 hours away to get him.
Wow.
And we did that in one day.
Oh my
and
God.
It was the day after New Year's Eve. And we went indeed to a party on that day.
What year was that?
Hold on. Hector is 1. So 2023.
Oh, so like the
1st January of 2023.
Yeah, 2022, 2023. So the end of 2023. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So then I had like six hours of sleep, and then we just drove there and drove back, and that's how we got Hector.
That's cute. Do you think? Are you thinking of like getting maybe more dogs in the future?
Oh hell no! I know oh hell no! I am saying this to you, to everyone listening, and to myself. This is my top limit. Like, these two, they're still young, so they're not fully trained.
Yeah.
So I need to focus on that. And after that, I'm done. No more dogs while these two are still alive.
Okay. So now we're gonna go to segment 2, which is kind of like a lightning round / pop quiz about you.
Yes.
Do you mind telling me and the listeners what's your daily routine? Like something you always like to do that has become regular?
I don't really have much, but one thing I have recently started doing because of Hector, because he's still a puppy, so he wakes up every day around 7. So instead of having alarm, now I use Hector as my alarm. So I haven't been woken up by an alarm in like the whole year he's been around. So I just wake up when he just comes snuggling to the bed and licking my face, and that's my new alarm.
That's cute, and that's good at the same time. So what's your favorite comfort food of all time?
Favorite comfort food? I do like eggs. Like, I don't know if that counts, but I eat like one egg every day because there has been studies that doesn't affect you in negative way. But I really wish I could eat more.
Hard boiled, just like scrambled.
Everything. It's like you can cook it in so many ways, so you never get bored of it.
So that sounds exciting. Yeah.
Always you with your puns. I love them.
So what's one thing you tell yourself often?
Stop being a lazy bitch and just do it.
Fair enough. So if you ever were to be any object or creature, real or fictional, what would you be and why?
I was really thinking about this question, and I have no idea. Maybe like a phoenix. But
Oh,
then I was
wow.
like, what if I get bored of all the bullshit around me and then I can't die? I don't know if that's a good answer either.
It is, it is. I mean, I would either want to be like a cactus or maybe like
Yeah.
a unicorn with two horns and wings.
Oh, that's a good answer too.
Yeah. So if you... Oh, what's your biggest pet peeve?
Slow walkers. Because when I'm like leaving my house, I'm always busy to go somewhere. And if there is a slow walker in front of me, I just go crazy. I'm like, can you please go?
Oh, yeah, yeah. If this was the last day on Earth ever, what would you do and how would you spend it?
I would probably have a very normal day. I would just hang out with my boyfriend and the dogs, maybe order food and no TV, no phones, no games, no alcohol, nothing to distract the time, and just talk and hang out with the dogs whole day. Make it
Yeah.
as long as possible.
Yeah, I've said this before, but like, my thing would be like doing something very crazy, maybe like just running the streets naked, like streaking and saying,
Oh, that's a good
answer. We're
answer.
gonna die tomorrow.
That is true. And it's your last day. You
Well, yeah.
definitely do something you wouldn't otherwise do.
Yeah.
But then what if it's not? Have you thought about that?
Well, everybody would have seen me naked, so.
Yeah.
Well, so what's one thing you cannot live without?
My freedom. I like to have the chance that I have the power of my own life, and if I don't like something, I can change it.
That's a very nice answer. So, in your opinion, what do you think is the worst invention ever?
I think smartphones. Because cell phones were a good thing, but when it's when it turned into a smartphone, I feel like everyone is addicted to their phone nowadays.
Oh yeah, yeah. Everybody here where I live is like driving, and they have the phone in their hand at the same time. I'm like, you wanna do this or you wanna do that?
Yeah, that's so dangerous.
Yeah.
I have my phone actually at black and white setting at all times, because in that way it's like it produces less dopamine for your brain.
Yeah.
So I look my phone way less.
I've
So
never
that's a
heard of
life
that.
hack for that's a life hack. If you're too addicted to your phone, just turn it into black and white, and I promise you will not look it as much.
So, what's the worst video game you've ever played?
That's a bad question. Hold on. Because immediately I'm like my summer car, but that's also the best game. So like,
You get the best of both
What-
worlds in that. I guess.
yeah. I'm wondering if there's any games I started. Okay, I started Watch Dogs 2.
Watch Dogs 2. Okay.
Yeah, and I couldn't play it after like half an hour because I was so lost of what I was supposed to be doing. But I don't know if that's a me issue or they issue.
Yeah. So, what's your comfort off-stream game?
Off-stream game. Currently, I would say Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh,
Or
one of my absolute
then-
favorites.
I do. I really like it. Or then maybe Valorant. But Valorant is like, if you're feeling down, you shouldn't play Valorant because you will end up crying in the corner.
Yeah.
So Hogwarts Legacy is like a safe option.
Yeah.
Nothing can go wrong with that.
Yeah. What's one thing you spend a lot of money on besides games?
Dogs. I spend, I think, more on dogs than my own food. Because they have also their hobbies and their food is expensive, and then
Yeah.
I like to treat them. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes they get shit they really don't need, but I'm like, you deserve it.
Yeah. So what would you do with $1 million?
I would pay off my mortgage, and then I think I would buy more properties, and then I could rent them out, and then I could become a landlord. and then I could just live off that and stop working and do, for example, content creation whole full time, or then like, I don't know, hire people, make changes.
Yeah. What's one big red flag you can't handle in a person?
Or when they're rude, especially if it's like for no reason or towards a person who is in sort of like in lower position than them. So for example, if you're yelling at the waitress, like they're at work, they can't yell at like back at you, like what's the, like I can't, it makes me mad just thinking about it.
Yeah. So what's one of your all-time favorite songs?
Monody by Fats Rat.
Never heard of
Like
it.
that is, oh, you should listen to it. You should, yeah, he's a German artist. And I discovered the song, I think like 7 years ago. And I think I have listened to it almost every day since. I love that song.
Interesting. Yeah, I love a German, let's say, artist, because
Yeah.
I kind of feel like he is also like a band or something, but I don't see anyone else with him. His name is Roosevelt.
Oh, I've never
Yeah.
heard of him.
He's German. He sings in English. He makes mostly disco or indie music. His songs are so good.
Oh, I need to check him out.
Yeah.
You sold well.
Yeah. So, what's one of your all-time favorite movies?
Oh my god, I have two answers. Because sometimes
Yeah.
you don't want to give people the right answer, but I'm gonna give you both answers.
Yeah.
So my safe answer when someone asks this is Titanic.
Oh wow.
But I have seen that, I don't even know how many times, maybe 20 times. Like I know almost everything by heart from that movie.
Yeah.
But then this second option is a Disney Channel musical called Teen Beach Movie.
Oh god.
That is so good. Like, it's the jokes in that are so stupid that they're almost funny again.
Oh
but
god.
the way it's directed is so interesting to me, because it's directed in the way
Yeah.
that even though it's a movie, they use very minimal like camera tricks, and you could actually have the whole movie on a stage and it will still work, because
Yeah.
it's like directed as it was a play, but it's a movie. It's so
Yeah.
interesting.
Like with live audience, you can feel like if it
Yeah.
would be with live audience.
Yeah, there's so many, like for example, there's one scene where someone throws a napkin and you can see like a corner of the frame that someone actually grabs the napkin and takes it away, so it doesn't just drop to the floor.
Yeah.
Like so many small details that I love about that movie. And it's a musical, so like that's always a plus.
Yeah. I hate when movies, if it's not a musical, and if like, I feel like most Disney movies to me are like cringe lately,
Yeah.
because of like, okay, so it's a movie. Why do you have to like put bad jokes in there? Just like
Yeah.
you think it's funny, or just why do you have to sing every 5 minutes?
Yeah. Have you seen Teen Beach Movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's like you have to watch it with the expectation that it's really like a Disney Channel movie. You can really see that it was produced by Disney.
Well,
But
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So what's one of your all-time favorite TV shows or series?
Oh God, there's so many. First thing that comes to mind is Degrassi. I used to watch that
Degrassi,
when I was a teenager, but that has been cancelled.
Have
So
you seen the Netflix one?
Yeah,
That's what
So-
got me hooked on the series.
really. Okay, so I hate to tell you, but Netflix ruined that show.
I think Netflix did a great job, though.
I know, but here's the thing, Lucifer.
Yeah.
The Degrassi, it was a Canadian
Yeah,
show.
I know, with Drake in it as well.
Yeah, so it went on for decades. And then I think Netflix had 3 or 4 seasons.
3, I
And-
think, yeah, or 4.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. and after that it didn't make enough money for them, so they canceled the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
So it's not continuing anymore.
I feel like lately a lot of like streaming services are canceling continuations, spin-offs.
Yeah.
For example, like lately there's something called How I Met Your Father that's been on Hulu, and it was with Hilary Duff, and I freaking loved it. And then Hulu decides to cancel it.
Yeah.
It was doing so good though.
Yeah, but it drives me crazy because Canada had this whole thing going on for decades, and the Netflix has it for few seasons, and it's like, no more. I'm like, just sold it back to Canada. It's fine. Like, just sold it back. We want it to continue.
Just do it Netflix Canada, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that.
Yeah.
But then, like, yeah.
Do you think it's fair that streaming platforms, some of them, have like land restrictions, like Hulu, for example, it's only in North America, like USA, Mexico, Canada. Do you think it's fair? I honestly, for example, like I want to watch Only Murders in the Building, which is only on Hulu, How I Met Your Father as well, Simpsons, which we now have, but it's on like merged with another. Disney Plus is merged with something called OSN, Orbit Showtime Network here, so it's kind of like censored and cleaned, and it's like not all the episodes are available and you have to pay for it. So are you with or against?
I think as a user it's very frustrating, but then from the business point of view it depends, because different countries have different laws as well. So if that certain shows don't go with the country's laws, I understand why it wouldn't show there. But I don't think that's always the case, because for example Netflix sometimes have movies in Finland with fine, like they're fine there, and then a couple weeks later they're no longer in Finland, but you can still watch them, for example, in USA. So it sometimes it just doesn't make sense. But if it's because of law and copyright and like things like that, then I understand it. But for a user, definitely very frustrating.
Yeah, I heard at some point Netflix in one of the Asian countries, I think one of either Japan or Korea, the good Korea, they had The Simpsons on Netflix at some point.
Yeah.
So if your life was ever to be either a movie, TV show, or a video game, what would it be named and why?
How is this bitch alive?
Oh, mine would be What the Fuck.
Oh, that's a good answer. But yeah, I have died so many times almost because of my own stupidity. Like, I have had a couple of close calls just because I have been stupid. Like, as a child, I almost drowned a couple of times because I was like, I can swim, and I couldn't. And then I was once trapped in a burning building. Oof. And do you know why?
No.
Because I was at home and I was doing some programming homework. I could hear the fire alarm going off. Do you know what I did?
You just stayed there and you thought it was just like a training or something?
Yeah, I was like, usually you can hear like fire alarms in like apartment buildings. So I was like, those bitches don't know how to turn it off. So instead of going to check, I just turned my like music all the way up so I couldn't hear it anymore and continued programming. Yeah. And then I could hear a window in my level broke, and I was like,
floor, yeah.
And I was like, oh damn! Like I should probably go check. I go check during like a peek hole on your door. The whole floor.
The peep hole, yeah.
The peek hole. It's just filled with smoke, and I was like, oh shit! Then I go to the balcony to check like how bad is it. It's the whole building is smoking, but the fire people were already there. I was like, oh, yeah. Well, good. Maybe I just chill here. And then I had to wait them to take down the smoke. And then they were like, you can't stay in this building. It's dangerous. You have to leave. I was like, okay, let me just leave then. Yeah. But I was wondering, and there was only like me and then couple other people's people like in that building at the time. So I was like, what if everyone else was the same as me and just turned the music up and no one would have called the emergency number?
Yeah. But like I don't know why, but like I was kind of like imagining it as you say it, like you
Yeah.
sitting there and like then hearing maybe the fire alarm and then maybe smelling smoke. I'm like, oh my god, now the neighbors are like definitely barbecuing or something. That was funny.
Yeah, it was so like ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that's why like, my life movie was like, how is this bitch alive? Because things like that happen to me, and I'm like, I make stupid decisions in like situations like that.
Yeah. So if you had one special superpower, what would it be and why, and how would you use it?
I think I would want to be able to fly, and I would use it. I don't know if I can like reach. If I needed to reach things like very up high, I could just fly there and use it like that.
Yeah, mine would be teleportation, and I said that before, but like I recommend that teleportation should be earned or taught. Like not everybody should use it, because for example, let's say everybody knows how to teleport, you'd have like criminals in your house.
That is true.
Yeah, that would be a hard time. So if you could choose where you'd be born, what country would you pick and why?
I would still choose Finland because it's good country. We have, for example, I don't think I would be where I am in my life if I was living somewhere else, because we have, for example, free university.
Yeah.
So I would still pick Finland, but if I couldn't choose Finland, then I don't know, probably Canada. It's the closest one, and it's an English-speaking country.
English and French, yeah. And you know both
Oh
languages.
yeah, that's true. That is true. Okay.
Yeah.
Canada for sure, if I couldn't pick Finland.
Yeah. Mine would be... Okay, Canada isn't there, but like my top one is Ireland. I just love the country. Yeah.
That is...
Who is your all-time celebrity crush?
I don't really have one. Hold on. Let me Google so I don't say it wrong. If I had to choose one, it would be, I don't know how to last, Taylor Lautner.
Taylor Lautner, yeah.
Yeah.
He was in Twilight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine is, well, I have two kind of. Kat Dennings, she was in Two Broke Girls, the series, and she played in Thor as well.
Oh.
Yeah. And like the other one is Charlie Puth. He's a singer. He sings, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
Oh yeah, that's a good song.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I have like such a hard crush on him. He's hot and he doesn't look 33 at all.
Let me Google. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. He's hot.
Yeah. So if you had the chance to switch lives with one celebrity from today, who would you pick and why? Like just for a day to see how they live?
I would choose an actor. So probably Zendaya, and then I would hope that while I'm switching up with her, that she would be doing a production of a musical. So then I could go to like singing rehearsals, dance rehearsals, acting rehearsals. That sounds like I would really like to see how the set is, like how the preparation for the movies is done.
Yeah. I probably would pick someone that I like totally despise, which is Kim Kardashian, because I want to see how she lives for a day.
I think Kim Kardashian would be very like business related. Like it could be very interesting to know. Because apparently she's very busy, so I would like to know after you have done being her for a day if she's really actually that busy or not.
Yeah. It's not only that, it's like also would give me the chance to experience life as a female, and
true.
I would be able to call her sisters bitches.
That's always a plus.
So what are some of your plans for 2024?
I don't really have any. Continue streaming, continue working, play with the dogs.
That's fair. Yeah.
I probably should have some goals, but apparently not.
Nah, that's fine. So using 1 or 2 words, how would you describe 2023?
New things.
Mine would be fuck off. Yeah. So what event impacted your life in 2023? Good or bad? It's your choice.
Oh my god, there's so many. You want me to choose one?
Yeah.
Oh god.
The one that had the biggest influence or the biggest impact.
The biggest one was getting Hector.
Aw.
That truly changed the whole, like, my everyday life,
Yeah.
now having 2 dogs.
Yeah. So now we're done with this segment. We're gonna go into a fun mini game that I prepared.
Ooh.
It's called Play, Delete, Uninstall. So it's kind of like I'm gonna give you I'm gonna name a set of 3 games each time. You will have to tell me which one you'd play forever, which one you would delete from existence, or which one you'd play once, either like all the way through to the till the end, or just like one playthrough and that's it, and then uninstall. And this also includes the whole franchise.
Yeah, I will suck at this game. I was listening to it like in your previous podcast, and I'm like, I don't know these games, so we will see how it goes.
It's okay. You can skip any
Yeah, all right.
any ones you don't know, and I've added a few. I've changed a few as well. Yeah. So we're gonna start with Hogwarts Legacy, Assassin's Creed, Tomb Raider.
Oh, I only know Hogwarts Legacy, so play that and delete the rest.
Well, which one you'd play once and uninstall of the other 2?
God.
Like discover, maybe try it.
I would maybe uninstall the 3rd one and
Tomb
delete
Raider.
the 2nd one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, or Battlefield?
Okay, so out of these, I only know CS. But I hate CS though. So delete CS.
Okay.
Play Call of Duty. What was the 3rd one? Warzone.
Battlefield.
Battlefield.
They're
Uninstall that one.
kind of the same games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this is one that's gonna like maybe interest you.
All right.
Fortnite, PUBG, Valorant.
No, you can't make me choose between these 3.
I'm not making you choose. You can keep 2 and delete 1. So you just
God.
play one and uninstall, then one you keep playing it forever, and then one you delete from existence.
All right. Okay, I have to follow my heart with this one. It is a hard decision, I must say.
Yeah.
But play Valorant. Uninstall Fortnite and delete PUBG. Like
PUBG, yeah. So The Sims, Disney Dreamlight Valley, and Palia.
Oh god, play Sims. Uninstall Disney Dreamlight. That Dream.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then delete. Was it Palia?
Palia, yeah.
Yeah.
So Valheim, Stardew Valley, Minecraft.
I play Minecraft. Uninstall Stardew Valley, and then I forget the first one, but delete
Valheim, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Phasmophobia, Demonologist, Devour.
Play Phasmo. Uninstall.
Demonologist or Devour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then delete Devour.
Okay. Lethal Company, Dead Space, Mass Effect.
Oh, I only know Lethal Company out of these, but I have 0 interest on that one, so uninstall Lethal Company. I have a memory of the Cold Fish. I hear these and then I forget the names, but I played
Dead
the
Space
second one.
and Mass
Yeah.
Effect. They're all space games.
Yeah, so play Dead Space and then delete the third one.
Okay. So Dead Island, Left 4 Dead, and Dying Light. They're all zombie games.
Oh, I only know Dead Island, so play that.
Dead Island and Dying Light, by the way, have the same people who worked on them.
Alright, then I would uninstall...
Dying
What
Light.
was it? Dying Light,
Okay.
and then delete
Left 4
the
Dead.
last one.
Okay. Alan Wake, Resident Evil, and Dying Light. Not Dying Light, sorry, The Evil Within.
Okay, play Alan Wake. You're gonna have a sneak peek, but I'm gonna play it on actually tomorrow's stream.
Ooh! Nice.
And it's actually made by Finnish people.
Which
Did
one?
you know that?
The first or the second Alan Wake?
I'm gonna play the first one.
Oh god. Oh god.
What do you mean?
Everybody says it has like a very fucked up mechanic. You think you're done with? It's not spoilers, but like everybody's been complaining about that, and they have addressed it as well. That when you like, for example, fight some of the things that you're fighting, you think you're done, but like then one of them comes and like hits you. You're not done yet. I'm like, oh god, I rage quit this game so hard.
Oh god. We will. Okay, but I'm used to things like that in my summer car, so maybe I'm fine.
We'll see.
We'll see. Okay, I'm scared now. But okay, so Alan Wake play, and then I did forget the two others.
Resident Evil and The Evil Within.
Okay, uninstall The Evil Within, and then delete Resident Evil.
Okay, so the last one is kind of easy. Cyberpunk, GTA, Saints Row.
Okay, I haven't played any of these, and I don't really know the story in any of these, but play Cyberpunk, uninstall GTA,
and Saints Row.
and then delete that.
I recommend you try Saints Row because it's if you could like get your hands on like the latest Saints Row, like the one in 2022, it's on Steam. It is such a good game. Like it's kind of like GTA, but like with weird mechanics. You can like run around naked. Some people would cheer you. You could even hit people with a dildo, for example, as a weapon.
Oh, okay. Maybe I will give that a chance.
You should, yeah. Even the older games are so crazy. The fourth one is the most controversial because it had like aliens, and people were like, no, please, like we didn't want aliens and stuff. And then the second one was the most praised.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I will give it a chance then.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the last segment. In this segment, we will be talking about mental health and some sensitive subjects. I apologize in advance for any heavy or triggering terms that might be used, not necessarily in this episode, but in general, because we've used a lot of like very harsh visuals, and we've spoken about a very, very, very harsh topic in one of the previous episodes. So I'm gonna say this again. Some subjects might seem triggering or heavy, so be well aware as you listen, and feel free to either skip, dip out, or just like end the podcast here if you feel uncomfortable about some subjects. Mental health is not an easy subject to talk about. Today we're going to talk about, as North chose, we're going to talk about making changes in your life and how to perform these new new habits, which you think it could be beneficial for someone listening.
Yeah.
People who are suffering with depression, burnout, or just like feel stuck in life.
Yeah. So I was thinking, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who can talk with you about the more like deep topics.
Yeah.
So I thought I would bring something little lighter, maybe helpful. So that's why I choose this topic.
No worries.
Because I was just thinking like maybe this is a good thing to talk about, and it could be very helpful for some people who feel stuck in life or just need a little change in their life.
Yeah.
So where should we begin?
Wherever you want.
I didn't have really planned for this. I think I'm just gonna talk and we will see where we end up in.
This segment is mostly like improvised, so I don't always prepare questions for it.
Yeah. So I just feel like I always had some maybe control over my life, but also I get very bored in my life. And when I get bored, I feel like I need to change. But sometimes making that change is not like an easy thing to do. So I thought I would maybe bring some tips for people who also like want to make change in their lives. And we will see if it's helpful for anyone. So first thing I would recommend for people, if you want to change something, is have a plan. Like, I wouldn't call it like, I don't really believe in like manifestation, but if you want to achieve something, the first thing you should do is think what you want to achieve.
Always plan, yeah. That's what I recently do, because before I was like, let's say a very simple example, like I'm going out with my friends. We don't know where we're going. We're just like going wherever we get. That's gonna be what we're gonna do. But now I'm like, no, I think, and sometimes I overthink.
Yeah.
And that sometimes like affects me, and it like it makes me feel like down sometimes, triggers my depression as well. So I'm like, okay, today I woke up, I want to do this, and then something else ends up happening. I'm like, oh my God, I wasn't planning for this. Yeah.
And then when that happens, sometimes you're like, in the end, you could be like, I had this plan, I didn't went through, like I'm a failure. But you should never feel that, because sometimes life happens and you don't always end up doing all the things you plan to do, and that's fine as well.
Yeah.
But so I would start with the thinking what you really want to accomplish, sort of like the end goal, and then you should have like a plan. The first thing, or the first day you could do, is just make the plan how you could maybe change your life to the direction you want it to go. And that could be the first day. All you need to do is just like, okay, let's say you want to be a streamer.
Okay.
The first day you can decide, I want to be a streamer. Second day you might make a plan, like make a plan, just like write down, make a Twitch account, decide a name, what kind of content.
Brainstorming.
Yeah, just brainstorm and write it down, and that's all you need to do that day. Third day, you might do some research on other streamers. Maybe it's like 4th or 5th day you actually create the account, but like you can make the change by taking like little baby steps towards it. And people, at least for me, people always say like, stop planning, start doing, like you can't plan forever. And I'd say, yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Like the planning part is very, very important in my opinion.
Yeah, and I agree with that. Because if you don't have a specific plan, like if you don't know what you're doing, for example, let's say you're mapping out like, okay, I'm gonna stream today, but then as soon as maybe you open up OBS, you start feeling some sort of way and you back off. You also should put the bad side alongside the good sides of what you're planning. Like, for example, let's say this, I'm planning this, but this might go wrong. I'm planning that. It's gonna go wrong, but it might also go very well.
That is true.
So you don't disappoint yourself in the end. Yeah. Exactly.
So I think if you need to be stuck in the planning phase for a couple of weeks, then you do that. Like, sometimes just knowing that the change will happen and knowing how you can make it can make you praying much happier.
Yeah.
And
what do you think that besides these, what other things you think also can trigger your anxiety, someone's depression?
I would say if you suffer from like anxiety or depression, first thing I would do is start going for walks. Because all the exercise, it can really calm your like body and your like mind.
Yeah.
So I would start with that. Walking, like, it's underrated. It's so nice. You can put on like a nice music or podcast and just walk.
Yeah.
And that is gonna be so beneficial in your life.
Yeah.
Other thing I would maybe think is like if you're having too much caffeine, because I didn't think, I used to have a lot of like anxiety, and I just thought that's the way I am. And then I cut my coffee amount in half, and half of my anxiety went away. So I was like, all this time, whenever I get nervous, I would get like super anxious as well.
Yeah. You feel like you're relying on something to just keep you going.
Yeah, but then when I cut my caffeine in half, even when I get nervous, like I went to like situation where I was nervous, I wasn't like anxious anymore. I was just like normal nervous. Like, holy shit, I drink so much caffeine that I caused myself anxiety because of it.
Yeah. So, at what point do you think a person reaches a burnout?
I don't know. I think burnout is such a like a hot thing to notice yourself that you almost notice it almost when it's already too late. Like you're already burned out.
Yeah.
At least for me, it's very hard to pick out the signs when I'm getting burned out. But then if I get burned out, then I can like really tell. But then like it's already too late.
Yeah. Like if you overdo some stuff, also you can get a burnout. Like I tell myself like, okay, I want to stream today, I want to stream tomorrow, I want to stream every day. But then I'm like, no, you might end up getting a burnout. And I did kind of realize that at some points, because like I was saying like, okay, I feel like I want to stream even though I streamed yesterday. And then when I start like to ponder on the idea like, okay, I'm gonna go live now, then it starts like, you know what, my body is telling me no, but like my mind is saying yes, so I'm gonna listen to my body this time.
That is a very good point. Like you can also get burnt out from things you enjoy. So if you just too much things, even if you really enjoy doing them, if you have too much on your plate and no time to like chill and relax, you might get burned out, even though it's fun.
Yeah. So do you think that like having a certain routine, something to do every day that takes your mind away from things could also help?
I think so. At least for me, I like to sort of like optimize. I like to call it like optimizing my life. Is that when I have certain routine, I know sort of like how long things are going to take when I do them, because if I do them always at the same time, I already know the structure of my life, and it's easier to schedule things after I know how much things are gonna take. So I think the structure is really good for your brain, because then you don't think, you know what you're gonna do and you know what you're gonna do next.
Yeah.
And you just do them. It just gets easier if you do the same things every day. And then of course there's gonna be things that don't happen every day, and that's fine too, but the structure is still there.
Yeah. So also, at what point, for example, do you feel like you're stuck somewhere in your life? Like, okay, I am at a point where I'm like, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. I don't know like how to get myself out of this, and you start overthinking.
Yeah. I notice myself feeling stuck when you start looking around you and you're like, I want that person's life, I want that person's life. Like you start romanticizing everyone else's lives better than yours. And usually that's how I know, like, okay, so if I want everyone else's lives, that means I'm not happy with mine. So now it's time for the change.
Yeah.
Because their life is not better than yours, but you feel more attracted to it because it's different.
Yeah. So in conclusion, like from what we spoke about, when do you start feeling like you've achieved something? Like, okay, I started giving up. You said you started like cutting in half your caffeine.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes hard to like do that. For example, if you're addicted to cigarettes, it's not always easy to do that. But like, what do you think can help with that?
I think having like very low goals, like for example, with me, like I was like, okay, I try to cut my caffeine in half by drinking like less coffee, but I was craving coffee so much that I almost gave in, but I didn't. But then I discovered that in my like coffee machine, I can actually make it with half of the beans. So that's what I did. So now I can drink the same amount of like coffee, but like lower level of caffeine. So I think with cigarettes, it could be the similar. Just
Yeah.
have like a small goal. Like today, I'm gonna cut my cigarettes in half. So maybe, I don't know, do like, even if you can either do like half of the cigarettes, or then if you have like something with less nicotine, do
Yeah.
that instead. So then you can do the same, like sort of smoke the same amount, but it has just less nicotine in it.
Yeah. So, North, that's basically everything that we have for today. So, thank you so much for being a part of this podcast, a guest on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It was very nice. I listen to a lot of podcasts, but I've never been in one, so it was really exciting to be here today.
Yeah. So, the thing is, I used to do this kind of like the same theme or the same vibe here in my country, but like it's kind of like a portfolio about like the person on the
Oh.
channel, but I did it here with local celebrities. So I've been doing that
Ah.
I've been doing that since 2020, and I kind of like, that was a project I had since 2022, but I couldn't get around to do it at the time. But here we are now. I'm doing it. I was like, fuck it, 2024. I'm gonna start, and I'm gonna see where it takes me. And so far, so good. I'm like 19 episodes in. There we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a professional at this point.
I don't call myself a professional, but
You
yeah.
should, Lucifer, you should.
Yeah. Well. So guys, make sure to check out Northroom. The episode, her handle, Twitch handle, is in the episode title. So check her out on Twitch. Can you tell us a little bit about, like, you don't have a schedule, yes, but like, around what hours do you usually stream if someone wants to catch you? For example, let's say one time, or like, for example, like if you're streaming 2 days a week.
Okay, so since we moved, so now I have a schedule. Like I have my
okay.
own streaming room, so now I can have a schedule. So I'm streaming Fridays from 6 to 9 my time, which is same as your time. And if I don't, like usually I stream on Fridays, but then you might also catch me on Saturdays if I have collabs or things like that. So Fridays or Saturdays.
That's nice, yeah. And it's twitch.tv/north_room.
Yes, that is correct.
Make sure
I'm still mad about that. I wanted Northroom without the underscore, and it
Yeah.
was taken. I'm still salty about that.
I mean, it's the underscore is kind of like a space, but
Yeah,
you can't
true.
have like spaces. So
Yeah.
yeah. But anyways, do check her out, guys. And if you really want to support her, drop her a follow. Check her out from time to time. Interact with her, and she's really nice and she's really awesome. I'll see you guys around. Thank you for listening, everybody, and remember always to take care of yourselves, take care of your mental health, and hydrate throughout the day. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.